people who became famous, and there are people who became parts of a people's memory. Most people know him as Osofia, the legendary comic actor. But deeper than that is this. He's not just a comedian, he's a cultural architect, a man who shaped Nigerian entertainment identity, someone whose face has become part of Nigeria's childhood memory, and a symbol of longevity in an industry that has destroyed many financially, emotionally, and mentally. He is one of the most human, emotionally insightful, and unforgettable character that has ever graced our screen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Salah Meditate Podcast. Here, we discuss deeply on cultural documentation, legacies, and extraction of wisdom. And also, we discuss deeply on power and the system that shape your life. I remain your very host, Benzik. So make welcome my highly legendary, iconic Nollywood faces, Nkem Owoh, popularly known as Sophia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
I'm blessed.
Sir, thank you. I really appreciate this moment with you.
Thank you.
Sir, I don't know whether you are really aware of how big that name Osofia is. You know, when I go around, I try to tell people, do you know Nkem Owoh? Some people try to wind their eyes, try to roll their eyes to see whether they know. But immediately I mention Osofia, it connects with them immediately. That name has become so iconic, almost everywhere globally. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm a human being. I'll feel happy that a lot of people recognize me. Whichever name anyone chooses, I still acknowledge it. So I feel good. And what makes me feel so good is that the industry I am in is moving forward. So I'm impressed.
Okay, let me go back a little bit. Who was Nkem Owoh before Sophia came into the picture?
Okay. Nkem Owoh, I must tell you, was well, I wouldn't say a nobody, but somebody who has potentials, who has been trying to see if he could move his potentials to explode. I never knew it was going to come this way. I was an engineering graduate, who is finished my national service, went to teach. One or two people entered into some of the Walco engineering company and all that. But while I was doing all that, I was still interested. I think this broadcasting or this industry has been pulling me for a very long time. Even when I was studying in school, I moved out to television stations and do some acting and some writings. In fact, I started with writing.
Wow.
Yes, so I did a lot of writing from small level to the national level of the writing New Masquerade. What do you get? Tales by Moonlight, Memorial Hospital. There were some of these network programs. Kesaro was what do you call it? Bassi and Company. Yeah, so I used to write all these things until people said I should come in front of the camera instead of staying behind the camera. Then I moved as a stringer then in some of the television and the radio stations. I had to come in front of this, and I started by doing some comedy sketches on television and radio. And from there, we started thinking of doing something big. And, it was only the Yoruba part of the country, the West, that were doing something that I had my eye on, but I wanted to do it in a different form. That was why I came in front of the camera and I wrote my own script and we started doing it.
Wow, you wrote your own script?
Yes, I was writing script. Yeah, I said, just like I told you, I started as a script writer. So I was writing for telemovies. So I started writing before the Nollywood thinking, and we all jumped into Nollywood and trying to see if we could organize it together. Myself and some of my friends then, and we were able to get the thing together. To be honest with you, we never thought it was going to get to the limit, the height it has gotten to now. But thanks to God, we have pushed it to this stage.
What can you remember the first movie that put you out on the limelight?
You see, each movie has its own plus and its minuses. There are some movies that I have done that, in terms of economy, was very good. There are some that brings your name. Probably the economy might not be that wonderful. So they have their pluses. But of all my movies, there are some that are very close to my heart. That's one. It didn't bring in money economically. It didn't bring in money. But that movie was a story told to me by my grandmother. Then, was called, I think we did call it King of the Jungle,
King of Jungle.
The Jungle. I did Utobo, the parts, they call it Tobo. A major part in the production. So, because I was told this as a folk tale, it just came to me, and I was smooth in acting it. So I had this sentimental attachment, I keep saying. So that very thing, because of my grandmother who told me the story. I could remember when I was small and we were, outside in the village, and he was telling the story. So, but those who at least came up to the level of spreading my talent or showcasing me could have Owoh. But even though it wasn't the first one I did, I started it with television plays, dramas.
Wow.
Before we now go to Nollywood. Already, some of the drama I was doing with television was projecting my name little by little, by inches. But when, like in Taboo, Ikuku, which is my own, I wrote Ikuku myself, I directed it. And the second part was where Zeb Ejiro directed for me. So Owoh was very popular then. Before we now came to a lot of them. I mean, it depends on who's watching and under what prism or from what angle of the prism is looking his or her judgment. So I've done a lot. People say they like. Then also in London came and it added boost to it because it was shot on international level as at that time. So from then on, I never stopped. So I just keep churning the thing out, and people make their choices.
To you personally, which of them had the most impact on you personally?
I've told you the one that has this, I have this attachment to. The one told to me by my grandmother. And I've told you the ones that projected me, the talent, to a level, starting from this thing. I've counted Owoh, I've counted the now also in London, Omugo. There are many of them. I wouldn't say this is the particular one because throughout African countries, see, Owoh was so popular before I did also in London.
Sophia, yes, Owoh was
before Sophia in London. So each one had its own impact on my popularity or being
shaped you separately. Yeah. Now, I grew up watching you, and it's quite very exciting to see someone that I watched childhood growing up sitting down beside interviewing you like this. It's kind of a dream that I didn't even know I could envisage. I'll see it today. But you have survived Nollywood eras for decades, for years. You have evolved, even as the industry evolved. You have survived it. What do you think is the reason why that kept you relevant despite the changes that happen in Nollywood?
Interest. I will tell you largely the interest I have in this industry because even though I studied electrical engineering, but right from time, even when I was in my national service, I was going to radio stations and television stations with scripts. So who tells you the thing I've been talking at the sleeve of my mind? That I have to be in this very industry. And because of that interest, that zeal I had before I jumped into it, I never left. And I went in there and I saw that there were some pluses. I didn't want to leave. I said, okay, fine. I had to be in this industry and see, and the thing was progressing. I said, okay, fine. Who are we leaving it for? You know, some of my colleagues and all that, and then we kept on pushing, you know, for the thing to come up. So these are the ones. There are a lot of my films. So people have their likes. This is the one I like, this is the one I like.
Now, you know, if to you, now, if you want to compare Nollywood of then when you started very early and this time around, would you say there have been improvements or the industry has been declining?
Well, there's improvement technically because of the new gadgets that we have now to produce films and to do post-production and even to sell promotions of the film. There is great improvement. But in the talent or creative part aspect of this industry, I would say it went down. I remember when we started the thing, because of the creative nature of how we started, you don't, because of the creativity, even if you don't learn the technicalities, you will like because of the story.
Okay,
the story kept this, and that is the creativity.
Yes.
Okay, but it's now coming down. People are using technology now to be. If they put, there are some films they put slots, or you'll be watching and you predict the end.
Yes,
how
exactly.
They think
Yes.
It wasn't so when we started this, because we started on a professional level. I transited from television and radio to this industry. So there were a lot of things that improvement.
That shifted.
Yes, some went down, some went forward. But technology-wise, we have moved forward.
Do you think it's finance that affected it, that made it to change, or the characters they are using this time around? Or is it the storyline? What made it change or shifted from what it used to be?
You see, I think people are so much in a haste to make money. And they don't want to spend so much money, except that now they are investing more money on productions now. That time, everybody was centering on how we are going to make this thing thick, the story interesting, not how we are going to do some effects. But now you see, people put a lot of effects. You can go and simulate anything and tell in your studio and then bring out and all that. So a lot of things culminated to improvement and downfall of the creative industry. Now everybody, they say this, what do they call it? They say this, somebody is a content creator. And I look at some of them again, I can't see the content they have created in anything, but that is how these things go. We must have the slow part of it.
Yeah, if you now, based on what you have described now, if you are to create change or to speak on those people behind it that will create those change so that we can get back the taste that we used to have of Nollywood then, what needs to happen?
Nothing, you see, this kind of industry is not an industry where you have to have a regulation that says everybody must do this and all that. One person will start something and it will spread. Other people will take, hold of it and project it. When, for instance, Owoh in London came out, a lot of people started doing this one in London, in Rome, in whatever. So, yes, all of them don't have to be so superlative. There are some pluses. Okay? So, whatever you can't go back to that yesterday. You can only improve and use the yesterday's creative knowledge, bring it with the technology of today, and enhance the industry generally.
Okay.
So, advice I normally give them is go and see those who can write script or tell stories. There are people who can write script because they don't know the format. They are good in telling stories, so they tell stories, and then those who are going to write, whether it's a hack writer or whatever, will do the writing. And then, not everybody thinks is a very fantastic content creator. We begin to write something that he sees in some of these foreign films and all that and piece them together, or even go and collect some of the ones that we did, which is so unfortunate. People are not going back to the ones we did when we were doing something, getting excerpts of it and then, using it for some of these things they call content creation. So it depends on the individual and the way the thing is. And people are coming up with good stories, but it is mixed with the junk stories.
Now it's more or less like the YouTube era has taken over, which is the content you're talking about now.
Yes.
More like YouTube movies has taken over those days that we used to have cassettes, CDs, and all of that.
Yes.
And also people go to cinemas.
Yes.
What do you think is different? Do you think this YouTube era has created a level playing field for everybody? Do you think it's good? What are the advantages of it or disadvantages of this YouTube era of YouTube movies?
YouTube is an advantage because it's an advancement from where we're coming from. But it is the way people interpret the benefits of YouTube that matters. People say, this is where I go and I get money. Other people will say, this is where I go and then I get name and all that and all that. There are some people who say, look, I want an award-winning film. So YouTube won't give me award. So you will write for both cinema and this thing. You are looking for the one that will project that thing that we had at the back of your mind, the dreams you have. So each and every one of them has its own advantage. YouTube, yes, is good. People don't even suffer now. They go make some short movies and then
Post.
those who are and then post it. Those who are looking for money. So yes, YouTube is good, but I don't think it brought us down. YouTube is not the one that brings us down. What is bringing us down is the laziness of some of us who don't want to waste time and get to the nitty-gritty of filmmaking, drama making. They just want everything so fast. Quick. Say, okay, quick. You do it and then the thing will just go. So YouTube is good. Who knows what will come tomorrow? With this coming of AI and all that.
Honestly, yeah.
A lot of things will still come in the future. So we're looking.
Have you ever felt like giving up since you started in your career early time?
How can I give up when I'm already getting close to my grave? I don't intend to live forever.
No, earlier time of when you started,
yes.
Was there any time that you thought about, I should have given up on this industry?
There was no cause for that. Like I told you now, when you're doing something and then you're making some gains from what angle, both social gains and monetary gains, you don't leave it, you don't change the winning team. You go along with it.
How was the character of Sophia truly born? And did you know it's going to be a symbol that it is today in the eyes of people?
Well, I will be honest with you. When this is one of my dreams. When I wrote that autograph, I was a stringer with our television station in Enugu then. ATV then, because Anambra was still consists of Ebonyi, Enugu, and some other, states. Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi. We were still together. So the viewership was very, very well, spread. So it was at that ATV that I will tell you, I had a lot of opportunities of developing this industry, because when I came into ATV, it was like that my dream is going to be manifest because I have the opportunity of having a media house. So that is it.
Why do people connect so deeply with the character?
Because of the story behind the character. You see, you cannot afford not to get connected to it when the thing is affecting you very, very well, positively, I must say. We are sitting, looking at watching Julius Caesar and all those things. I was still remembering them because of what they had to, how they had impacted us.
Do you think it's called the storyline or the way you interpreted it?
All of them. Storyline is one. The way you interpret it is one. The way you act it is one. Because you can interpret it as a director and do it the way you can interpret it as an actor too and get it done. So it depends on from where you are coming, the angle you are coming from. So,
because when people watch you, sometimes they try to wonder whether is this man following script at all? He's just just playing his own character entirely. You interpret your role so excellently, so effortlessly that when people watch you like this, they just can't afford to laugh. Yes. As in, how do you do it? Do you think this is innate from you, from birth, or it's something you learned?
Look, when they say grace of God, people don't even know the meaning. There are certain things. Everybody has what God has given to me. This is a gift from God. And what am I doing? I'm an engineer by certificate and a show businessman by profession. And that's what it means. Because my certificate is in the box while I am chopping and eating with this social engagement. No, I told you I started with writing. It's another way of showing your creative talents. But on top of that, I'll tell you something. My coming in front of the camera was just, should I call it an accident? I was writing, and behind the scenes where they were shooting and recording the film, when people were telling them, I remember a program in that television, ATV then, youth said this, and they created, I think about 7 minutes, 8 minutes portion for me to do stand-up comedy. So I started this, that was in the 80s. So I started with that stand-up comedy. Before they kept telling me, come in front of the camera, because you're making people laugh behind the camera. So why don't you come in front of the camera? With much pressure, I came in front of the camera, and I saw that what I was doing, people were buying it. So that's how the waiting started. I never left since.
Now, have there been moments you see that in this Nollywood industry, you look at people, most of the actors, especially most of the new actors now that are on, that usually come up, and do you think there has been a drop in the quality of characters that are being displayed in our sets these days?
That's what I've been telling you. That's what I've been telling you about production generally. Because somebody wants to project somebody, maybe the relation or the friend. He just brings the person and says, go and take the lead role of so. So these are the things that bring the industry down. People go read it in the university. They come. And you try to tell them, you have to mix these things. To get acting, in fact, show business generally, going, you don't have to depend on one thing. Oh, I'm a good script writer, I have to stick. Try and see if it's, or you write a comedy, you just have to continue to write comedy. No. You move this and know where exactly the kind of talent God has given you, where it's going. When I see people laugh, when I'm even very serious, and I talk and people laugh, at times I get hot. I remember on occasions where maybe we're in a gathering and they say I should pray. I just say in Jesus' name, and people were suppressing laughter and all that. It annoyed me because I don't joke with my prayers. But with time, they just push people into this industry and all that. If it's not your destiny, there's no point worrying yourself.
Do you think Nollywood will reward pioneers enough for their hard work in the industry?
In this country, how many people have gotten commensurate reward for what they have done? Even the soldiers who died in the war front. So the system of our society,
Nollywood can create the system itself rather than...
It can. It's already creating it because as it is now, I can singularly do my film, short film, put it on air. And it will go. But I'm not looking for reward. I wouldn't be looking for reward. So I'm still trying to project the thing. But even when you do something for the nation on anything, you don't expect reward because it's not going to come. Nollywood is doing these award ceremonies that they organize. It's something, it's reaching out, not only African, but beyond Africa. So Nollywood is trying in its own way to see how we can project.
It's more like to get for every actor to get royalties for every movie continuously for life.
That's what I'm talking about, the system. Outside the country, though in US, for instance, if you do this thing, you're taking royalties.
Exactly.
But our own system is different.
Can't it be structured?
It can be structured, but that has to be with time. You know how much it took the US to go to hundreds of years to come to the level they are now. So we are, even the Indians, even the Chinese with their pushy. So we're coming. We're coming to that stage where you can do some things and then you take royalties, or do certain things, you take royalties forever. You know, but I think we're coming to it now, gradually.
Do you think social media fame is replacing real talent?
No, it can't. There is no way social media fame can replace real talent. It's like saying, well, maybe I'm one of the conservative types. I enjoy music when bands were playing than when you're in the studio and they are adding a lot of, yes, very, very good, very, very sweet. Where they are adding, simulating some effects from the studio. But when a band comes and they say this band is performing, I remember when we were much younger. You go on and watching the person in the conga, and there's no way media edition or any artificial intelligence can replace the real thing. It's not possible.
What do you think is the hardest thing that you can say fame took away from you?
Freedom.
Explain.
You see, when you become a celebrity, you know, a lot of people want to be celebrities, but they know just the plus of celebrity. They don't know the minus of being a celebrity. There are certain things I cannot do, even if I would like to be free and do it. I can't do it because of who I am. The society has made me. So you are not free, you know, to do a lot. Even you're walking on the street and all that, you just want to go to somebody's house and no, it doesn't. It's not working again for me because we have become a symbol that everybody wants to see, and watch. So that has been taken away from most of us.
Have you been anywhere and someone that people didn't recognize you?
Not
in
of
this country?
Late. Not of late. Even in African countries, since this movement started, I don't think I have gone to any. I get surprised at times when I go to certain places and I get that kind of recognition. I say, how did this thing come?
Yes.
That was when I started putting two and two together. I say, oh, okay, fine. This thing that we are doing is moving. It's going forward.
If you look at your journey so far, what do you think destroys talented people before greatness?
The normal thing. You don't have money, your economy is bad. If your family is not well to do, it's going to affect you. You can't pursue your dream. And if there are some inhibitions in what you have dreamed about yourself or your progress, there's any stumbling block on the way, you eventually stop.
If life gave you a clean slate to start all over again, what would you do differently?
I don't think I'll do anything differently. I'll still do the same thing. But probably what I am going to do is forget about pursuing those other things and pursue the ones that widens my knowledge and my creativity and in this industry. If they give me, life gives me one more chance, I will still do the same thing. Because if I had had good advisors, probably I wouldn't done engineering, I would have probably done some other things that are related to what we're doing here. So that's it.
What at this point in your life, what does legacy mean to you?
Legacy means the same thing it means in the dictionary. What you leave behind for the upcoming ones. For tomorrow. That's what it means. So any person that doesn't work for look, whatever we are talking, we are doing in this world is to leave legacy for the people of tomorrow. So that's legacy. Footprints on the sand of time.
Sometimes people get confused because I want to go to the beginning real quick. Sometimes people try to say Nollywood was started by so maybe the Yoruba speaking people or the Igbos. If you can talk as the pioneers, where would you say Nollywood started and who are the pioneers directly?
Now I want to reveal a secret to you people. I have said it to some other people. The one that the craze of Nollywood when it started, you know, it wasn't Nollywood when it started. There was no name. We just had to sit down and begin to, look for names. Until one guy came and said, Nollywood. We considered it for a very long time before we adopted the name as Nollywood. Actually, as far as I'm concerned, there are two people. Mike Orihedima na Uwezuke.
Uwezuke.
Uwezuke, those are the people who were doing it in Onitsha then. You know what they were doing? They will come together, begin to do funny things in the market. Maybe Ochanja market, they will just go there and then do some funny things. And people will be watching them and laughing and be having good time. At a stage, they said, okay, they have to package these things. The first person that sponsored it is no longer living now. So they packaged the thing. So what they do is they come, they act it, put it on the tape, and begin to sell it. The thing started catching fire. Now Nkem and Nebue took advantage of that and decided to do it in an advanced form. That was how Living in Bondage came to be.
Wow.
And he started writing, sourcing for stories to enhance the thing. In fact, I got involved with the guy that was sponsoring Michael Orihedima and Uwezuke then. The man told me, I said, okay, if I have to be involved in this thing, we have to enhance it so that we begin to bring some other things, not just you try to make people know, when you are not the person will fat, and then we go on top of the drone, they will begin to wrestle. The other one will say, can we move advance? He said I should write a story about it. I went and started writing a story about it. I wrote a story. I don't know what happened somewhere along the line because I included police there and then supermarket. It's like they advised him, saying, this man is trying to move you out of the original destiny of Michael Orihedima and this. Well, that was how that one ended. The man now said, okay, fine, come and do a film for me. Before then, I was doing television, like I told you, writing and acting on television. So, as a pioneer, I will say that is the source of this thing. Already, the Yoruba people were doing this their slapstick comedy then. And people were laughing. They go to functions. They had gone to a stage. They were using sophisticated camera. As at that time, sophisticated as that time now. It's no longer on the Yoruba people. Then they were shooting a lot of all these things. And before we now came with this very craze of Nollywood, competition started after living in bondage. This person will write, this person will come. The second one was Circle of Doom. In fact, the marketers in Onisha started sponsoring the thing. So it just come. That was how, so for me, how the origin of Nollywood.
So that means it was not really, you cannot really say whether the Yorubas or the Igbos or the Wazirike were from that side that started directly.
Yeah, that was how that line, video, this thing. These other people were doing the thing on Cine. There are other people who have produced film now before Nollywood. Eddie Uboma was one of them. Even when the colonial masters were here, we had what's his name? Before Baba Salah, the father of, he's a very big time, one of the initial
Zebudaya.
gurus. No, not Zebudaya, of this industry. I'm telling you, this guy started, the man started in the 50s.